Bruce Lee? Yeah, what about Bruce Lee?
My father was Bruce Lee's closest friend and his senior-most student. So I've been studying with him for the majority of my life.
Yeah, so when I first met him, let's see, I was 36, he was 18. Yeah, we just, I think the camps were just kind of waning down, and they were going to finally close them down. There was about 100,000 of us in these camps, you know, but most of them were in California and along the coast there, where they knew where, that's where we were basically. And so, you know, I went through a lot of grounding because of, you know, being just a Jap kid, even though I was born and raised here. I mean, you know, people looked at me, looked down upon me basically, and my mother and dad always, you know, cautioned us that, hey, we're nothing but a bunch of Japs, and so keep your mouth shut, you can be seen, but he said, don't be heard, because he said, we don't want you to get hurt, you know, and that's the way I was raised out there, you know, and I never really got a hold of myself, was able to ground myself to realize that I am a human being, no more, no less.
Bruce was 18 when they met, and my dad was in his mid-30s, so he used to always say I was old enough to be Bruce's father, but I think they bonded just, you know, my dad was just a very earnest student and didn't really want anything from Bruce other than, you know, what he was getting for himself personally, which was, you know, self-worth and self-actualization and things like that after coming out of the internment camps.
For some reason or other, he picked me out to be his buddy. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, to this day, I wonder why the hell he picked me out instead of somebody else, you know? Yeah, I was his closest friend, yeah. In fact, that was one of the last things he said to me when he called me from Hong Kong. He said, Taky, he said, wait until you see me. He said, you and I are going to go all over the world, he said, you know.
You know, Bruce really did a lot for my dad to help him regain his confidence and, you know, feel like he was a you know, a decent human being again, just as equal as other people. And Bruce used to always tell him, you know, you're good as anyone, no better, no worse. And so through the practice of martial arts and their friendship, you know, Bruce really helped my father to find that strength within himself again.
He was able to look into me and realize what was happening to me, and he took it upon himself to sort of help me along, to make me realize. And he used to tell me, hey, you're just as good as me, and I would always respond, oh no, Sifu, I can't be as good as you, you know. But he helped me to ground myself and to recognize that you know, we're all human beings, no more, no less than anybody else. So I have a lot of, you know, just special feelings about that. I mean, I'm just very humble. I'll never, you know, get out of that point of being humble as I am, because I know that's where I belong, you know. But Bruce was the guy that helped me to, you know, to regain my stature of who I am, rather than just being a goddamn little Jap kid that was beat up and cussed out and everything else like that, you know. The guy was just such a charismatic person that, you know, it just changed my whole life, you know. He just would come in there like lightning. And boy, he had that power to just come in, you know.
You know, my dad was in a lot of ways like a father figure to him. You know, he took care of a lot of paying the rent and organizing things, and Bruce pretty much came in and taught and things like that, you know. And even after he went to LA, you know, my dad ran the school and sent him the money and, you know, continued to do all those kind of things for him.
Yeah, he held a tight rope, you know. He didn't let anybody get away with anything out of hand. It just worked out real good for us, you know. Yeah, I remember that even not, to this length of time, I can still remember all that stuff, you know. Yeah. And then boom, you know, and bing, 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 and come in and back fist, you know.
So I am now the head instructor of the Jen Van Gung Fu Institute of Seattle. Inherited that mantle from my father, just trying to continue on the legacy that he has, continuing to be part of, you know, perpetuating and preserving the art and philosophy of Bruce Lee. I think it's important that, you know, especially now, so many years after his death, that we continue to do that, because Bruce's message, I think, is relevant today as much as ever, especially the young people, as far as the example that he can provide. I mean, I think his legacy is one of, you know, friendship, and, you know, he's someone who was close to Bruce, and like, you know, you asked earlier, they had a unique relationship, and, you know, my dad's a total badass, but he's a real humble guy, you know. I think he is the greatest example of Bruce's martial arts, and I truly believe that, and I try to live up to that every day.
But Bruce was a guy that was my buddy, and I go to the end of the earth to try to, you know, to share something with him, keep him, you know, in remembrance, you know. That's what's important to me, you know, so. This is the first school that we started. At that time, from this pillar to that pillar was one room.
I met Taky when I first met Bruce in Seattle. I was 18 years old. I was young. He seeks only to honor his friend's work, to preserve it for future generations. And for that, we pay tribute to him tonight with a plaque that Andy has for him.